All right. With that said, let's get down to business and let's give our guest speakers full allotted time. He came with us last week with a great training video the week before, and he started the year off that way with us. I'm just so excited. I met this young man. Was in my former company. He called me as I was going on stage in Dallas for 25,000 people and said, "Look, I want you to sponsor me because I know who you are and what you've done." And I said, "I got off stage. I'd be happy to." Got off, and all of a sudden now he's a regional director. His wife's a regional director. His business partner Reggie Larson's a regional director. Without further ado, from South Carolina, from Summersville, the one and only great Mr. Curtis Evans.
Hello. How's everybody doing all across the United States and in other parts of the world? We're real happy to be here. Thank you, Mr. Thomas, for putting together a great program for everyone so that everyone can learn simultaneously. It's amazing what technology has done for us. So we use it where it's needed, and then there's nothing that takes the place of one-on-one, looking at somebody belly to belly, we used to call it, sitting at a kitchen table. Where you're able to show, as Mr. Thomas just said, effective presentation. So it's very, very important that you take in the information that you get in on these calls and put them to good use. Remember, information is just information. What you do with it is what you do with it. So we want to thank Mr. Thomas for the platform that he's put together every day at 12 o'clock on the Eastern Standard on our time, and I imagine it's 9 o'clock in California and different times around the world. We have a big, expansive business. In fact, Darlene, my wife and I, and Reggie and a few others were invited to go to Charlotte tomorrow for a meeting with the regional directors. And so we're real happy about going out there, and we'll spend some time with the 4 co-founders and learn some more. And then after we learn, it's the most important part is to learn, and then what? Put it to action. So today, I want to talk about something that every leader in all network marketing companies have used. I heard the other day that the NFL is a $19 billion industry, $19 billion. Network marketing is fastly approaching $200 billion. So sometimes people say, I'm that thing or that little thing, or I don't know if I want to, but then they spend an inordinate amount of time watching football games. That's a $19 billion industry. Now, NFL is a big deal, but it's on TV every day, all day, and everybody keeps up with the players and all that. But we're in a $200 billion industry. Okay, now that's taking everything together. Now that's a whole lot. So when you sign into our business, when you sign up to become an IBO in the company, I want you to understand what that means. You are going to pay $324 to become an independent business owner with our company. And what you do with that business is totally up to you. You can do nothing with it. And some people have done that. And some people have done a lot with it, and they're wealthy. They're doing very, very well because they follow a really, really simple system. I'm going to talk about that system so we don't get confused. There's 2 things that we do. One of them is what? To gather customers. We are a customer gathering machine. So if you're not opening your mouth and gathering customers, first of all, your own. I've seen people that not their own customer in a lot of areas. First of all, you got to gather customers. Customers are the heart of this business. You can sign up 1 billion reps with no customers, nothing. Okay. So we want to gather customers, and every month try to strive for 5 customers. That's a couple $100, but more importantly, it's getting you closer to another promotion. So remember, that's one thing they want us to do. The second thing they want us to do is show other people how to gather customers. Now, it's a little bit more than it sounds like. Mr. Thomas just talked about an effective presentation. That's something you have to be able to do. You have to learn how to do it, or show an effective video. One or the other, you need to show people what this business is all about, and then help them to come to a conclusion if they want to get started or not. Now, the beauty, why would someone do this? Why would anybody do this? I will tell you, I'm one of those people that signed into the business. I came up and they told me to get a really good job and stay on that job for about 50 years. They didn't say 40 years, it was 50. Okay, stay on that job a long time. And then when you retire, hopefully you'll get a check. And that check was a Social Security check, because very few companies pay pension now. So that was the idea. So there's a bunch of people that grew up, get a good job and get a good education. Get a good education, get a good job. a lot of them are frustrated. A lot of people are frustrated. They're in their 20s and they've seen what happened to their parents. They've seen what happened to their grandparents. When some company downsized or something happened in the economy or industry came or industry went away or something. And so the beauty of our business is some of this is going to go away, but for the most part, people are going to be communicating. They're going to be communicating with talk, text, email. The internet's doing crazy things right now. We're getting into health insurance and several other products come along. We got IDCO, gas, electricity. I won't go over the products, but we're in things that people will not, 20 years from now, they'll still be using. In some shape or form, they'll still be using. Now, this is going to be unusual because I say that after talking and listening to the co-founders, they're in a legacy building. They spent 30 years building the business, and now they're working on the next 30 years. They're committed to the next 30 years. So what do you do so that your family can do well? Well, some people say, if I can get another $1,000 a month, another $500 a month, but the company can pay more than that. If you do more, it can pay $5,000 a month. If you work hard, it can pay 10. And I'll go all the way up through the stratosphere. What it can do if you apply the principles that that they ask us to do, and that is to gather some customers one time, and then they want us to go out and show other people how to do the same thing and teach them how to build an organization. Some are going to build big organizations, some are going to build small. You have a lot of people doing a little bit. You have some people doing a lot. In any event, your job is to do that. And is it easy? Now, this is where the rubber hits the road. Most people are looking for easy. Easy, there is no money in easy. If something is easy, they're just saying there's just no money there. There's a lot of people looking for easy, so the money's not there. But I'm going to show you a trick that I found that works very, very well. In addition to showing the presentation, in addition to showing an effective presentation, and in addition to gathering customers, getting that 75 customer points, moving up to 100 customer points, moving up to 200 customer points. As you do that, there's a little secret sauce that Stephen Payton and I've heard leader after leader after leader talk about this. I want you to understand the power of events. You're journaling, and just listen to Al just a minute ago, Mr. Thomas. Just listen to him a few minutes ago talk about an event that's going on in Costa Mesa, an event that's going on in Dallas, an event that's going on in South Carolina, and then another event that's going to be going on in Fort Worth, Texas. I have never seen anybody do well. I mean, this is serious now. I mean, if you really want to make some serious income, I have never seen nobody do well that didn't go to events. It won't happen. They will peter out. Things will happen. It won't happen. It just won't happen. If you're a school teacher, you got to go to school teacher events. If you're a principal, you got to go to principal events. If you're a superintendent, you got to go to superintendent events. So I'm gonna just make up the principal. Suppose if they have a principal event in your state, and all the school principals are going to this event for this weekend, and you say, I'm not going because I don't believe in that sort of thing. I ain't got time. I'm sick. I don't feel good. I'm not going to that event. Okay, well, you do that a couple of 3 or 4 times, and you won't be a superintendent no more, or a principal, or nothing else, because that's just the way it is. Events. And our company does such a good job of the events. Not only are they entertaining, and not only do you learn a lot, you also get a chance to meet a lot of people. You get to hear people behind you talking, people beside you talking, people in front of you talking. They have no interest in your income, but they're telling you what I would do, what I did, how that happened, how this happened. And so what you want to do is you want to learn to get to the events. Now, that will help you immensely. That will help you immensely. But nothing is going to prepare you like this next thing. When you teach other people to come to events, you want to get to an event one day with 2 people with you, another event the next time with 4 people with you. And the next year you came back with 10 or 20 people with you. And then 5 years later, you're coming back with 100, 200 people with you. They're coming because they want to learn, and they're bringing their organizations. You will see magic happens. Eddie Smith, a new IBO, he told me something. It made so much sense. He said, you can get the brain knowledge, you can get the information in your head. You can learn this, you can learn that, you can learn the other thing. That's all good. That's knowledge. You brought it in, you got it, you know it. But he said, when you go to an event, it transferred from your head to your heart. Okay? So you're not in an ACN. ACN is in you. Okay? And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. When someone says ACN is you, What happens is there are opportunities around us all the time. So you're talking to somebody and they're complaining about their job, but because you didn't go to the event, you don't know what to do. You're dumb as a brick. So you walk past the SVP. You go into another store and you're talking to somebody and they're complaining about they got to get off early today to take care of their child. And they're just complaining. You call your cousin, he's complaining. You call your best friend, he's complaining. You call everybody you know about anything else, nothing about ACN, and they're complaining. But you missed the opportunity. You missed the opportunity to show them something because it went in one ear and out the other ear. Once you get to go to events and you learn from the top money earners in our company, you learn from the top money earners in our industry, that won't happen anymore. Then you'll learn how to effectively peak somebody. Okay. So people complaining all the time. It's just what people do. Now, some people complain, they're just complaining. That's all. They're not serious about that thing. They're really not serious. I was a supervisor once in a facility, and I had a guy on one of the assembly lines complaining all the time. He would come to me and he said, Mr. Evans, I don't know why he called Mr. Evans, Curtis. Yeah, hey, listen, I need more money. I need more money. I need more money. When I'm gonna get more money? When I'm gonna get more money? Every friggin' day, he'd be out there complaining. So one day I told him, I said, hey, listen, you get X amount of dollars an hour. They can almost double this salary. They got a job on the board. If you sign up for that job, I'm pretty sure you'll get it. I'll make sure I can pull some strings to get you to get that job. Well, he didn't sign up for it. He's still complaining about this. Week 2 later, I said, did you sign up for the job? No. Okay, I went on. But he's still complaining every day about the work, why y'all start so early, why you get off so late, da-da-da-da-da-da. Came back, the same guy. When I'm gonna get a raise? I said, there's another job on the board. And he didn't sign up for that one either. All you do is put your name there, sign up. That's it. So one day I said, did you sign up for it? He said, no. Then went back on to complaining again, complaining all the time about everything under the sun. So I had a supervisor, I had somebody stop him, get him to my office. And I said, why are you complaining every day I see you? I said, you had 2 jobs. Why don't you apply for them? Well, one was on second shift and the other one was on the other side. I didn't know, the noisy, too hot, too cold, whatever. I said, well, that's not my problem. You stop complaining. He said, man, don't pay me no attention. He said, don't pay me any attention. I just complain. I've been complaining like this all my life. I'll keep complaining. I just complain. He said, I'm sorry it bothered you, but I'll be complaining all the time. I've been doing that forever. And it hit me when I got into network marketing. People just be complaining. They're complaining. So the question is, what are you going to do about the complaints? And that's when the rubber hits the road. Okay. Now I do something simple. If I sent you a video, would you watch it? And what time you finish? They said 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Give me a call after you finish. They have effectively been peaked. But I'll tell you, a lot of people are just complaining. However, we don't know who really is serious about their situation. We don't know that. We can't read the heart. We don't know what's in their heart. So we got to keep peeking and trying to get some information across. So it's very, very important that you get them into business, sign them up, help them get some customers, help them get their services free in a lot of cases, help them get some customers, but get them to an event, okay? Get them to an event. They'll die on the vine if they don't get to an event. I'm telling you, it's an almost sure thing they're not going to be here next year if they don't get to an event. If you don't believe me, get somebody to the event and watch how they grow after they come back. Because now it's not just you that talked them into something. That's how they feel like, I should have did that. Now they went into a meeting and they saw 50 other people in that meeting. They went to another meeting and they saw 200 people in that meeting in their area. They went to another meeting and they saw 1,000 people in a meeting. They went to another place, they saw 10,000 people in a meeting. So they know they're not crazy. They come back and all of a sudden they go to work, putting in customers and showing other people how to put in customers. So if you had to mess up with something, I would make sure that me and my group got to events. It's so important. It's not the company does $100. They don't make any money on you going to an event. $100. I mean, people pay that for dinner anymore. $80, $90 for dinner or supper, or lunch or something. So I heard people tell me they're just trying to make money on me when I paid that $100 to go to the event. They don't need your $100. Okay. What you need is what they're teaching you at the event. So you're going to have to learn to invest something in yourself, invest in you. I want you to invest in you. How can one person sign up the same day that Harry signs up? Mary hasn't made any money. Harry's wealthy. The same company. The same company. And that's because for some reason, they don't want to spend any money to go to the event. They see it as spending money. I see it as investing in myself, investing in my team. Okay. So it matter how you see it. If you're an employee mindset, you're spending money to go to an event. If you're a business owner, you're investing money in your business. And it pays off handsomely as more and more people see what you see. So it's very important. You can do everything else right, but you're not promoting events. You will grow, but you won't grow at the speed that you want to grow. When you stand in front of 200 people that in your group, and they're bringing another 400 or 500 at the next convention, that's when you're growing really fast. Because when the event is over, those 400 people are going back to their market. One market is in Seattle. 5 people went back to Sacramento. 10 people went back to Los Angeles. 7 people went to Phoenix. 14 people went to Philadelphia. 5 people went to New York. 20 people went to Miami. That's when your business takes a whole new sort of feel. It's not a local thing no more. It's a national thing, and then it becomes an international thing. So if you want to scale, it's a word, I don't know if I'm using it properly. If you want to scale means you're growing exponentially. You're not growing 1 person, 2 people, 4 people. You're growing 2 people, 10 people, 20 people, 100 people. So if you want to scale up, you have to learn to use events. They will take care of it. And ACM puts on the best events I've ever seen. I mean, they got fireworks, they got music, they got video, they got great performers, great people talking, great examples. I mean, if you go to corporate office, you see how big this is, but just know you're at the front of something called Amazon. You're in something that big early on, but nobody knows about it yet. Nobody understands. Nobody knows what you're in. Your family don't understand it. All they'll say years later, he got rich at this thing he started up. He was trying to tell me about it, but I was busy at the time. I was working a lot of overtime, or I was in the middle of something. I was going through something. So that's why I didn't get started. Okay, that's fine. But over that course of that 10 years, you want to go at it. Now, I like the wealth aspect because there's nobody in my family has ever become wealthy. And I'm not doing it to be wealthy to show them anything. I just want to see it done. It's just a personal goal of mine. So if that's a goal of yours, the money is there. But if you want to make $500 a month, or $200 extra a month, or $300 extra a month, get 5 customers, get 8 customers, that'll work. That'll do what you want. That'll pay your car payment, house payment, whatever. But I really, really, really want you to look at the wealth aspect. And that comes from helping people to get to events, showing them the power of an event. If you can do that effectively. So next, Costa Mesa. We got something in South Carolina. I know there's something in Dallas, Texas going on. And then we have the big show, the 30th year anniversary. How many times are they going to do 30 years? One time. 30th anniversary is going to be in Fort Worth. So if you can't go, this is how you go. You go to your boss and you tell your boss, I won't be here on this date, that date, and this date. I got somebody to cover for me. You got to learn how to do that. Number 2, if you don't have the money, go to the finance company and borrow the money. That's what a business person would do. They will use somebody else's money to get there and they'll pay it off. You got to invest in yourself, okay? And then show your family what you're trying to do. If I get this done, we'll be able to get this. If we do this year, what do you want, daughter? What do you want, son? What do you want, wife? What do you want, husband? And they'll put it on a board, put it on your refrigerator, and every time you leave to go do business, they know you're trying to get something for them. But it's important to figure out how to get out of there to get to an event, and then how to teach other people how to do it. If you can't do that, you'll do okay in ACM. ACM is a great company, you'll do okay. But the growth that you're looking for will not happen unless you and a team of people are at that event. And if anybody tells you any different, they are wrong. They're just wrong. And it's impossible, because it never got to their heart. They got a lot of information up here, nothing in their heart. As soon as something come up, they don't know how to respond. So that's all I have today. It's 12:29. It's 9:30 out there. We got 30 minutes. I want to make sure that everybody understands what I just said. Invest in you, invest in your business, invest in other people, help people to see the power, and teach people how to go borrow $500. They buy it for shoes. They buy it to go to Beyonce's concert. They go borrow money to do all kind of crazy things that don't matter about. Stuff sitting in the closet right now, some money they borrowed to go do that. They ain't worried because they can't wear it no more. They're too big, too small. Go borrow the money, get to these events, have a good time, but learn and take somebody with you. Take 1 or 2 or 3 people with you. So Al, that's all I have, Mr. Thomas. I'll turn it back over to you.